there is a natural desire to look for more information, to find the secret source, to find a solution by looking outside of ourselves. Hello, my name is Paul Harvey and I am a midlife coach, and you are listening to a life, passion and business shortcast. Now, over the last few years, I have spoken to hundreds of people and I've discovered that our story is everything, because what we do, feel or experience is based on the stories that we tell ourselves. This shortcast is a bite-sized episode to explore the ingredients of a good life. We bring out the thoughts, tips and tools so you can try them on for size. So let's explore and see what is possible. The truth is, we have everything that we need to create the life we want. We can just start the process. I was reminded of this fact this week when a friend of mine posted an advert for an event, a retreat that's occurring close to us in Findhorn, with a couple of speakers that we both follow, and interesting people. And the course is happening later this year, and it's interesting because it's a 5-day course with these guys presenting their work and taking you through a process. So yeah, I mean, it's allocating 5 days to this. And the price tag for this exercise is $4,900. And there's a low price option. And it is not fully sold out because the low price option is like $3,000 and people have bought into this course. Now, I happen to know one of the guys has a very big list and is very well respected, and so will bring in people, particularly also from America, and they get a chance to visit an amazing place in Scotland. So there's lots of boxes that get ticked for those people that have signed up for this. But my friends, both of them who live locally, spoke to me about this course because they are people that we have together followed. And I was saying to them, you know, there's nothing that these guys will tell you or tell us that we don't already know. We've explored the work that they offer for many, many years. And there's only one thing that stands in the way of us and that material, and that is implementation. And I find this so often around the people I talk to, around, the people I work with, the people my clients and various things. The biggest block to anything, and in my life as well, the biggest block to anyone moving forward is implementation. And we are all terrible at this. We are all have this issue where we might want something and we don't even take the minimal steps towards it. There's some stuff that I want to get rid of in this house at the moment, and I need to advertise it. And I've taken the photographs on my phone, and have I placed the adverts? No. And I'm going to have to find some way of absolutely committing to sitting down and doing it. My days are pretty full at the moment, and so it's not that I don't want to do it. It's not made a priority. My priority over the last week has been keeping myself fit and ready for a race I did today. I did a half marathon today. Now that's an example of something which I was totally committed to. I was completely committed to this date and working towards it. And I have to say, although the training plan wasn't perfect, there were gaps in it, and I didn't have enough time to do all the training I wanted, I did manage to do enough, and I set out a plan so that I would achieve this half marathon today in under 2 hours, and I achieved 1:58:07. And so everything today aligned up. The weather was perfect. I had a running buddy, which I hadn't planned on, and everything about today worked. And that was my commitment. That has been a very strong commitment for me. So it has blocked out other things. And I appreciate we all have busy lives, things that get in the way. But at the end of the day, if you want something, if you want to move towards something, you've got to start taking measurable actions towards it. Now, I know what's going on with my two friends that are interested in this course, in that going to the course and going for this 5 days thing, putting down a wedge of money on the table means there is skin in the game. It means there is commitment to honor that investment and move forward with it and do something with it. Because, hey, if you put that amount of money on the table, you want to make sure that you get the value out of it. Of course, that's how it works. Is it really worth that amount of money? I mean, the sessions you're not getting full time with these people. It's a group event. And I would imagine if you were to take 5 days out of your life, if they were to take 5 days out of their life and commit to working with the materials from these people that are available to them in the world, as in the books they've published, or in the online courses that they offer, or even on the YouTube videos they offer, they would get just as much out of that. I think I might have mentioned this before about books. It's like, working with a book. If you take a book and read a book, a personal development book or a business book, it's always down to how we implement. It's always down to how much time we commit to doing the things that are required. There are so many things in my life, because I've mentioned before that I have so many wide interests. I now allow myself to have these interests, but it does mean that I tend to split myself up in things. There's a lot to be said for doing one thing at a time and doing it well. I'm mixing a lot of things here today, I recognize. I'm talking about implementation, talking about the one thing. I'm talking about all sorts of issues here in terms of goal setting and planning. But it really did wake me up, this conversation, in the last couple of days about this course. And I don't want to do it. I have no interest in doing this course with these guys. Certainly not for that level of money. Now, the question is, could I do that? Could I set aside a chunk of time to do something like that? See, that's what is interesting, isn't it? It's this thing about, we're prepared to go away and do a retreat on something and focus on that time because that's a retreat. It's like paying for that process. But we could just as easily set up a block of time, even a daily block of time amongst everything else. So that's the fascinating thing I want to talk to you about today. That's what I want to sort of explore with you today. Where in your life are you doing this? Are there things that you want to do or information that you think you could gain by reading a book and doing something? And if that is what you think you need, implement it. But as I said to both of my friends at the time, we all have all the information we need. We just need to use it. So yes, it probably would mean going back to the books to understand it and remember it and picking one of those things to do something with. So the question for you today is there someone that you follow or a book that inspired you or something that you knew would change your life if you went to it or could implement it? What stops you implementing it? What stops you moving forward? I mean, think about Tony Robbins. You can find loads of stuff online from Tony Robbins. You could probably implement a lot of what he does, a lot of what he offers on his courses, just by looking at his YouTube videos or just by listening to podcasts. By the way, I'm not also, the irony of me mentioning this to you and also getting you to listen to my podcast about this, that's not lost on me. I understand, you're listening to me to try and move yourself forward. And yet, and I'm saying perhaps you shouldn't be listening to anybody. You should just move yourself forward. The irony is not lost on me. But sticking to this point. Okay, so how are we going to do this today? How are we going to make a difference to your life? Look at your bookshelf. What books on that shelf are there that you think you bought because you think it would make a difference to your life? Is it, a person? I'm not sure how it worked. I mean, is there something on that bookshelf that you bought with a view to implementing and didn't do it? Get the book out, set some time aside, and do the book. And if the book is not going to work for you, go and find the book on Audible and listen to the book. And then do the exercises that come out of that. I have to say, I'm beginning to realize how powerful Audible is. I use Audible a lot because it allows me to listen to stories while I'm cooking, which I think is fantastic. It's just a nice way of unwinding while I'm doing something else. But I also recognize the power of Audible in terms of working with something specific. And I use other training sites as well, and it's the same kind of thing. So there's a lot of value in this. But anyway, that's what I suggest you do. Find something which you know or think could make a difference and do the work. Set aside the time to do the work. And if that means getting up an hour earlier or going to bed an hour later or chunking out a bit of the day somewhere else, that's how you do it. And that's the only way to move forward, to be honest. We have to make time for this stuff. Make time to take the actions that take us forward. Because it is so easy to allow life to slide. And that is okay too. There is nothing wrong with allowing life to slide. It's our life. It's our choice. We choose this journey. And it's always we choose this journey. The question is, what happens when we don't choose? And that means we've chosen not to choose. Nasty stuff, that's a nasty bind, that one. I spent years choosing not to choose, so I know exactly what that means. Anyway, I think I'm going to leave you with that today. So find something. Find the thing that you think will take you forward and make the time to make it happen. Invest the time to move you forward in some way. Now, if you want some help with that, check out the resources at the website, Life, Passion and Business, particularly focus coaching, because that is one of those tools that will take you forward. And I can tell you, I will not charge you $5,000 for that amount of time. You can book a block of training with me at £400, 395-ish. And that gives you 6 sessions, which is probably more than these guys are offering at this retreat. And I know it won't be the same. I appreciate that, but it will be just as powerful. Anyway, if you think this is useful, do check out the website at lifepassionbusiness.com. If you think this would be useful to someone else, please share it with a friend, because that's how people like yourself find good podcasts. If you think it's useful and you'd like to give us a review, please do so, because reviews are lovely and I do enjoy reading them. And other than that, thank you so much for your time and attention, because I will catch you next time. All the best.